With the development of supermarket shopping, we have become more separated than ever from where our food comes from and how it is produced. With this in mind, people have begun to search for different ways to reconnect, at least a little, with growing their own veg and keeping a few animals. You only have to grow a pot of mint on your windowsill and eat it to become reconnected with your food. In this series, we'll be travelling throughout Britain, meeting people with vibrant new ways of reintroducing backyard farming into their lives. From keeping chickens in their back gardens, to co-owning a small holding, to an entire village coming together to run their own farm.
Adrienne, I hear that you helped set up Transition Town here in Lewes. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, Transition Town Lewes is a response to climate change and peak oil, which is the fact that we're running out of cheap fossil fuels. And let's face it, our whole society is based on fossil fuels, our food, our transport, the way we work. And so in the knowledge that over the next 20, 30 years we have to move really dramatically away from that, we've decided to get together and create practical steps towards that with a vision of a future without fossil fuels. People mostly get involved because it's a very exciting and practical thing that people can do together. In the world at the moment, there's a lot of fear and concern about the future, and this is something that we can all do. We can generate our own electricity, we can share cars, we can grow food together. I don't fly anymore, I save loads of money, I don't buy very much, and I have a wonderful time.
And you look healthy on it.
I'm here in St John's Churchyard in Lewes, and this is a hive which has been recently recolonised by a wild swarm, and we're absolutely delighted that we have now got a healthy, functioning colony of bees back in the churchyard. You can see they're pretty healthy. They look like they've got no varroa on them to me. We've got now great hopes for this hive as being productive and happy colony.
So Dirk, here we are in Adrienne's allotment. Could you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, it's a standard size allotment, but as you may notice by contrast with some other strips around here, it looks a little bit disorganised and a little bit scrappy, but that's only a surface appearance. It's because we're using the permaculture model, which is basically a way of designing the plot so you do as little work as possible.
Joe, you've got a pretty small garden here. What made you decide to keep hens?
Well, I lost a cat, and so then I decided that I didn't want another kitten for that because he's quite old, and so that's why I chose hens.
How often do you have to clean the pen out?
I clean the pen out about once a week, but I have to clean them out in the morning every day. I clean out where they sleep.
So how long would you say each day you let them out and roam?
They're out a couple, 3 hours. If I'm home, I leave them out, because then if anything's wrong, I hear them and they make a different noise.
Mm-hmm. So Lex, here we are in Pop-Up Studios Gardens. I hear you were instrumental in setting them up. Could you tell us a bit about it?
Yes, well over here is the old fire station, which we've turned into art studios.
Right.
And all this area was wasteland, and I just had a vision of seeing it as a garden.
For growing vegetables?
For growing vegetables, and as a community garden for people to come ultimately and just learn how to plant vegetables, grow their own food. And I guess reclaiming wasteland is very much what we're doing here, really. This was just derelict 3 or 4 months ago.
So Lex, would you say this is really about reconnecting?
Totally, it's about reconnecting ultimately with life. So food, people, being together, and actually, and just having fun, and really just enjoying the simple things in life.
Judy, you're keeping your hens in Megan's old Wendy house.
Yes, it seemed a perfect use for the Wendy house that Megan was too tall to stand up in.
What do you enjoy about keeping your hens?
They're just lovely characters, which I wasn't expecting. They're all very individual. They're lovely pets. They recognise our voice. When you come home, they'll sing you a little song, and 3 of them we can actually handle and give a quick cuddle to. They lay beautiful eggs, and they're just part of the family now.
And at one point you had a cockerel, I hear.
Yes, they came as 6-week-old chicks, so we weren't sure what they would be. And we had the understanding that if one turned out to be a cockerel, that we would swap it for a hen. And Lily was the replacement for the cockerel.
Right.
We just were a little bit concerned about cockerels 5 o'clock in the morning and close neighbours, so...
You were being responsible pet keepers.
Trying to be.
Lovely.
You only have to look back 50 years to our great-grandparents, who simply grew their own veg and kept a few chickens, a goat, and maybe even a pig in their back garden. In post-war Britain, the government actively encouraged this. And interestingly, the climate is going the same way again, with people queuing up for allotments. So join us as we find ways of growing communities.